My name is Chris Henshaw. I went to Macedonia first to work for NDI as its resident senior director in 2004. So now, as we start the spring of 2015, I've been in Macedonia working for 11 years. In terms of the innovative programming around work with women, it goes back to even before I was in Macedonia. I think we all recognize on the world stage that women political participation is essential for the democratic strength of a society. What we're doing is, first of all, looking at municipalities across the country to see what are the demographic and economic statistics that make certain municipalities ready and willing and suit the idea that a woman mayor, where services are needed for young, poor and old, where women to the fore, where we have a large number of women who are heads of households, where we have women in positions of authority, economic authority as well as civic authority, where many of those residents would be quite willing to vote for a women mayor. And so we're building up this huge amount of research using a local civil society organization, Reactor, that's provided the research that was funded through a grant from the French embassy to the local NGO. And from that, and from our connections with the parties and so on, we are looking at the way in which we can bring together a group of municipalities and women from those municipalities to put them through a year-long training program on what makes good democratic governance, local governance, so that they are skilled and able, ready to push themselves forward within their parties as candidates for the 2017 mayoral elections. Recently, at the moment, we're involved in a series of focus groups that we've been carrying out as part of our political party programming. As part of that focus group work, we've been asking questions of people in the focus groups, both men and women, about their reaction to the idea of having a woman mayor represent them. And the results are extremely encouraging. The old idea that politics is for men seems to be receding in rural areas as well as urban areas, and that gives us real hope for the future. And that same principles extend to the work that we are doing working with the Roma community. We've had several years of doing training programs where we've had young Roma activists learn the ropes, basically, about Roma activism. And there's nothing more encouraging and more satisfying to see many of these Roma activists now actually involved in civil society organizations that they played a major part in and set up, and through those organizations actually connecting with our other work in Parliament to bring about changes to legislation, to amendments to existing legislation. 4 or 5 years ago, we started an idea of placing Roma interns, young Roma men and women, in jobs for a 6-month period, where we worked with them, helped them develop a professional portfolio of their work, acted as mentor with them, placed them in ministries and private work which suited their qualifications and their needs. And after 4 years of doing that, 4 or 5 years of doing that, we've seen almost 100% success rate in those young people going on to either further employment or further education. And that's good. That's a warm feeling. It's democracy building in its widest sense. Democracy building is not just about process, it's about content. And if we've done our little bit, just a little bit, to get a marginalized community, young people from a marginalized community into work, then I call that good democracy work. And one of the reasons that I'm still working in Macedonia and still there, and NDI is still there, and the staff, and we have a staff that have been with us a long time, are still there, is we can see change. Despite the flow, the political flow that often goes in the other direction, there is much that is very positive. And as we go further into 2015, faced with a country that's got some serious political challenges at the moment, I feel empowered, I feel encouraged, and I also feel very humbled by the fact that many of the main players within Macedonia, be it in civil society, be it within parliament, be it within political parties, be it in neither of these, but have concern for the future, all see NDI as somebody they can work with, link with, network with, and trust. And based on our track record to date, and based on the aspirations of the people we work with, that's a great feeling of hope for the future.